Thank you for watching. It's time for talk. Each evening at this time, Monday through Friday, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Tonight, Rosemary takes us by means of portable camera out of our studios and maybe into your neighborhood. And now, it's time for Talk.
Tonight you're in for the treat of your life. We heard that Marty Fowler out on Route 66 was going to restore a 1931 Cord. And so I thought, let's go out and get a picture of that old rust bucket before he does anything to it. And we walked in here and we looked. I looked at this car and I thought, well, now here's one he's finished. This is it. This is it. Marty, come here. Come here. Say it ain't so. Say you're not going to do anything to this car. Say you're not really going to touch it.
Not this week. We're going to start over.
Now, what are you going to do to this car?
We're going to take it apart and fix everything that's not good on it and put it all back together and give it a new paint job.
You're not really going to take this car apart.
Well, yeah, we're going to take all of it apart. It's been 42 or 3 years since it's been painted, and the paint's getting a little bad here and there.
You think this paint's bad? You ought to see my 72 Maverick.
Yeah, but it still runs, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, this runs, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I backed it out, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
This goes down the road. This will drive 300 or 400 miles on a tour, wherever you want to go, you know.
And there isn't a spec, there isn't anything on this, and you're going to do it again. Now, tell me what you're going to do, actually.
Well, actually, we'll just take it apart piece by piece first.
Marty,
we'll take the top off, the windshield frame off, and then we'll take the fenders off, and we'll get it all stripped down, take the hood and the radiator and all that. And then we'll refinish each part and put it all back on. Interior, all of it.
Now, how long will this take you?
Well, I'm getting older, and Ron and Lou Allen and me, we do it. And
okay.
We're the restorers. He's the painter. I'm the mechanic.
Is this going to take you longer than a year?
One would hope not, but probably. It's probably about a year and a half.
Okay. 2
guys and maybe 3 a year and a half.
And you're really going to strip it down?
We're going to take it as far apart as we need to, which I think when we get it apart, we're going to take the chassis apart and refinish the chassis too, so we'll have to take the drivetrain out. This car was originally designed for sale in 1929 when nobody had any money. The Depression had just hit. The rear license plate says Who But Hoover on it.
Really, does it? That's not an original thing, though.
Yes, that is an original thing from 1920.
Who But Hoover?
Who But Hoover, that was the...
Now, it says Herbert Hoover, surely.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. There isn't a speck of dust even on the motor. It's incredible.
The other unique feature about Cords, they were built by the Auburn Cord-Duesenberg Company, and they're front-wheel drive cars. See, everybody thought that was new stuff. 1929 Cord had a front-wheel drive car, and this is it.
Okay, so you've got...
The engine's in there backwards.
It's in there backwards?
The front of the motor's back here. The back of the motor's in the front, and the transmission and the differential's on the front axle.
Is that good or bad?
Oh, they thought it was good then, and what, 90% of the cars are that way now, so I guess it must have been a good idea.
Oh.
Well, it's in the front of the car. I know that's unusual, especially for back then. And that's what made these cars identifiable coming down the road. Nobody else, this is the differential cover, and it's in the front of the car. And it's just round, and the differential's right behind it. And these are the cooling vents for the brakes. The brakes are on the inboards, and that's later model innovations too. Nobody had that back then. Okay. And here's the drive shaft coming out of the brake. That's a brake drum, and that's the drive shaft going out to drive the wheel. And that was really innovative for 1929. And
now, how long did they make this car?
They started it in 1929.
And Marty, the reason they stopped making them was because nobody had the money to buy it? Is that the Depression?
Yeah, the Depression was so hard on people that there was not a lot of people with money to buy a car that expensive. A Ford was $350.
How expensive was this car?
Ford's $350. This was about $3,000.
Oh.
So they didn't sell a lot of them.
Okay, all right.
But,
so they only made it 3 or 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then
till 32. Now this is a 1931 model. of a L29, which started in 29, but you have to just know what year they are. They all look about the same.
All right, now, that's a crazy-looking headlight, but boy, it's beautiful.
It's called a wood light, and that was the last name of the man that invented them. He got a patent on them. He wanted to make something that was real racy looking, and his story about it when he applied for a patent was that it gave better light in a straight up and down pattern straight down the road so you could see farther. In actuality, a candle held out the window would have probably worked as well. They were awful. But they really look good.
Now, Marty, one car I saw you had, the headlights had a cover for them. The headlights sort of folded down into the car.
Oh, yeah, that was the 1936 Cord. That was the next body style.
Okay, in the
Same company, 1936.
So
they didn't make anything from 32 to 36.
And they started up again.
They started up again with an 812 model, and it had, in the big fenders that came down, it had a headlight that folded out and folded down. Okay. And it went completely away.
All right, and how long did they keep making a Cord?
2 years, 36 and 7.
Okay.
Actually, maybe 35, 6, and 7, then they died.
Do you still see car Cords when you go to judge?
Oh,
do you
well,
still go and judge shows?
I don't judge
all
these cars. I don't know enough about them to judge them. We had a judges these cars come by about a week ago, and he went over it with us for some things we needed to do different when we redo it. But I judge Corvettes.
Okay. Now, and where's
first three letters are the same.
Okay, but the price was different.
Price is way different.
Tell me where you have just been judging Corvettes.
The big Bloomington Gold Corvette meeting at St. Charles, Illinois. It used to be in Bloomington, Illinois, but now it's St. Charles, Illinois. I go there every June.
Okay.
For as long as I can remember.
And you really enjoy that?
Oh, I still like it.
And the car you really love to work on and restore is?
63 Corvette, yeah.
Okay. He's a Corvette
but
man.
But I like this one, too.
Yeah.
We go to these people, the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Club that manufactured these cars, Auburn's Cords and Duesenbergs. They have a big meeting in Auburn, Indiana, guess where the company actually built cars.
Do you always go?
I always go to that on Labor Day weekend. It is just the most fun you could ever imagine.
Oh, I imagine. Just walking along and
maybe,
touching.
Maybe 300 cars like this all in one place, and all the owners, trade information. And
now,
you can really, and there's a beautiful Auburn Cord Duesenberg museum there that was the headquarters for the company, and it's 1930s Art Deco, and it's just it's neat.
Okay, now, you're going to redo this.
We're going to redo
Jokes
it.
aside, you're going to redo something that looks this good.
Ron and I, if we live long enough, can take this apart and redo it.
Okay. Why?
Because it needs to be a little nicer. The owner wants it nicer than it is. It's 40 years old. Everything's been done.
Everything, all of this paint job, everything is 40 years old.
40 years old, and he's kept it up really well. But after time, the paint just slowly goes away.
And you're going to put it back the same color?
Same color.
What color is that?
We don't know. It's just light and dark green is what we call it. I'm sure there's a name for it. You could give you in the you could get them painted any color you wanted.
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna.
Now, this is much harder to get into than my Maverick,
yes.
And I'm sitting on the floor practically.
Almost, yeah.
Okay, tell me about what I'm seeing here.
Oh, well, this is a glove box in case you had a pair of gloves. Hey, room for one pair of gloves.
And I've got a fan right here.
That's air conditioner. Yeah, that's air conditioner.
Yeah.
Here's the radio. Doesn't it look like a radio? One of those old 1932 radios at home?
You know what? It does. It does.
It's not in here right now, but the rest of the radio hangs right here, and it's huge.
Oh, really?
And the reason there was a key on the radio is when you turned your motor off, there wasn't enough electricity being generated to run the radio except for about 5 minutes, and it'd run the battery down. So they put a lock on the radio. When you got out of your car and went in someplace, radios were, unusual. People would come by and turn your radio on and listen to it. And when you got back, you couldn't start your car. So radios have changed.
All right. Boy, this is impressive looking up here. Now, what's this?
That's the shift.
Is that the shift?
That's it. It's unusual. You go straight in, and you go straight back. You go straight in and say, that's low gear. And then you pull it straight back, and that's second gear. And then you turn it again and go over there, and that's high gear.
Okay.
And then you pull it back out and go way over here somewhere, and you got to find it. There you go, and that's reverse.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now
it's
what?
It's all mechanical. It goes way out there to the front.
What are we looking at here?
That's a windshield wiper. The right one and the left one.
Really?
The blades are not on there, but yeah, they run on engine vacuum, just like that air conditioner.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
air
isn't that a
conditioner.
nice air conditioner? Yeah.
That is a nice
That
air
was an
conditioner.
accessory at the time
Oh,
period.
I'll tell you what. All right.
And this is a, you can't see them. This is for the air horns. They're on the other side under the hood, and if you pull that, it sounds like a
Mack truck?
diesel locomotive. Yeah.
Really? Really? That's the horn
That's
down
the
here.
air horns.
Okay.
This is the regular old horn.
Oh, is this a Ooga?
Well, you can listen to it. That's it. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Yeah, they're right here.
Okay.
And there's the fuel gauge, and there's the oil level gauge. That tells you how high the oil is in the engine.
Okay.
Not how much pressure, how deep it is in the pan. About 11 quarts, I think.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Big oil pan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it tells you about how much is on 3/4, half, just like a fuel gauge. And then there's the ammeter, how much it's charging. Way over there we have the speedometer.
Yeah.
It goes sideways.
Yeah, it does. Yes.
I can't remember the other gauges.
Okay, say that again. Here's the speedometer.
Here's the speedometer over on this side. It goes sideways.
Mm-hmm.
I think they call it annular, but.
Mm-hmm.
And there's oil pressures over there, and
now
and temperature.
Is this accurate? Does it really have 57,431 miles?
I don't have any idea. Probably. It's not too far off. This is a really good car. It's never set out in the weather or been in a junkyard or anything like that. It's a good car.
Does everybody always know the history of the car like this? You know, everybody who's owned it?
You're just lucky if you find one that, you can trace back. Now, he's had this one since 1979 or 80. Let's see. This is the choke.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to warm the carburetor up, you have to pull that. That gives more heat around the carburetor in the wintertime. They're hard to start in the winter. If you want to start it, you have to pull this lever all the way out. Now, that's weird.
And that's
the pilot ray light. We don't have it on there because we've already taken it off. But it sits in the middle of the car in between the headlights. And if you turn the steering wheel left, it turns left.
Oh, really?
To see where you're going, and if you turn the steering wheel right, it rotates right.
So there were 3 lights on these cars?
Yeah, this was an accessory.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you could buy it at the dealership where you bought the car. That was real popular on big cars.
And you've already taken this, you are really going to take this apart?
He found one. It didn't have one on it, yeah. And we put the pilot ray stuff in it. And also, we got a hole here and a hole there. And we're going to put spotlights, dual spotlights. They just look neat with dual spotlights, and they're real hard to find. Over the last 20 years, he's found all the parts to make up 2 sets.
In case he wants to spotlight deer at night or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah. Just see where you're going, be real good.
Oh, all right.
He found an original windshield post that already had the hole in it, so we knew how to make the hole.
Oh, you put this on?
Yeah, we redid all this last winter. Now we got to take it all back apart.
So you've been at this already a year?
Oh, we rewired it last winter.
Okay.
He was just going to rewire it and drive it, and then he decided to rewire it and then redo it. So.
Right. So can we come back and watch the progress?
Anytime you want to. When we started getting it apart and it looks ugly, well, I'll call you again.
Okay, and we'll show you what he does to this beautiful car. Well, to that, you've been visiting with Marty Fowler. And he's shown us an old cord that he is going to redo, and that just hurts my feelings something terrible.
Why?
But
you can ride in it when it's redone.
All right, I want to ride in it when it's redone, and we're going to show you. He says he's going to tear it apart, and we're going to give you a blow-by-blow description of what he's really going to do to this. Yeah. Marty, you'll yell at us.
Oh, yeah, I will if I still can.
You have been watching Time for Talk. Time for Talk is a community betterment service designed to cooperate with our local community betterment program. Each evening, Monday through Friday at this time, Rosemary interviews local personalities and others who bring items of interest to this community. If you are aware of items of interest, please let us know for possible airing on this program. Time for Talk is brought to you through the cooperation of Kennett Cablevision Incorporated and is produced through the facilities of the Slicer Street Church. The Holy Scripture